Welcome to Georgetown, a neighborhood with a legacy as deep as the Potomac River that borders it. This historic district has long been a crossroads for politics, culture, and style. Georgetown isn't just a place, it's a story, woven from the lives of the people who have called it home over the centuries. Georgetown origins date back to 1751, making it older than Washington, D.C. itself.
I've worked in the fashion industry for the past 25 years, and one of the things that I loved was helping my clients pick out clothing that expressed the real them. Secondly, I love sustainability. The location that we're going to today is a gem known for fashion and sustainability. Welcome to another episode of Neighborhood Favorites. I am your host, George Worrell, and today we are in the heart of Georgetown, outside Reddz Trading and Sustainable Resale. It's been a gem here in the Georgetown area for decades. Come on, let's go in. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to
Now
see
look,
you.
you know I'm always coming by, and thank you so much, Tope,
We're so
for
happy to
showing
have
me
you.
around. Yeah. I'm excited about it. And we're starting with my favorite item, shoes.
Of course. What better way to start than a classic Chanel pump? We have so many great offerings here for our customers.
Okay.
This is just our women's shoes right now.
Okay.
We have a nice leather mule, sneakers. I mean, many offerings, of course, at great prices that you're not going to find anywhere else. And our goal here is just to try to offer something for anyone. You know, if you're a sparkly girl, we have you covered.
Okay.
A sneaker girl, we have you covered, you know? And yeah, that's just really what one of Reddz ethos.
So you can dress head to toe here. So I see
Yeah.
like sweaters, I see jewelry.
Jewelry, yep.
I see that you have a designer collection here. So
Yeah.
you're gonna take me on a whole tour, aren't you?
Okay, we can definitely do that. So this is our designer collection. It's a mix of men, women's. Well, you know, these days, genderless, honestly.
Okay.
Like, this is a men's suit, so truly what does it even
I
matter?
love that. What are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts about genderless and
I love
it.
it.
Being able to wear exactly what you want to wear and it feels good and looks good on you? What are your
think
thoughts?
that you shouldn't be conformed by, you know, like the whole, if this is a men's suit or this is a woman's t-shirt. Like even some of our customers, they'll come in here, they're constantly asking me like, is this for a man, is this for a woman? I'm like, well, did you try it on? How did you feel in it? Shouldn't that be the ultimate goal? Like feeling comfortable in your own skin and in the clothing?
Yeah.
So like technically, yes, this is a Gucci shirt.
Okay.
It is a men's shirt, but you could also wear it as like an oversized t-shirt for a woman. Yeah.
For anyone.
And even this whole rack, it's Gucci. It's a mixture of different designers, and which is what we really try to offer here at Reddz. You know, we want to offer good quality, luxury pieces, but at affordable prices. While also promoting the idea of sustainability and reusing and repurposing fashion.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, you could. This was it's a Hawaiian shirt, but styled the right way. You can wear it all season.
Yeah, and people travel. So let me
know?
just ask you something. So when people come in, what's the difference between, you know, resale, consignment, all of those kinds of things? Because you're not a consignment
We
store.
are not, and I'm so happy you asked that. So I would say the biggest difference with consignment, you bring your items to someone, and then you enter into a contract. You don't get paid until the item sells. So let's say the item was to go, like if they have to mark it down, the onus is on you as the seller, so you're gonna take the loss. With us, we're paying you straight right there for the item. You can either get cash or trade. The trade is a higher percentage, but with that idea is just that there's the transparency is right there. Like you know how much you're gonna get, you know how much we're gonna sell it for. You know, it's a very I would say a unique relationship because you have to trust that I'm trying to give you the best price for what you can get, but also because we are buying it right out, we have to price it very sharply.
So let me ask you this too. Is your eye trained, like for being a stylist or doing a window? It's something innate in you.
You know what?
So like when you see a piece, like if I come in and I'll be like, hey, I want you to buy my whole outfit. how do you determine if this is something that one you want to buy,
Right.
what the value is of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
yeah.
all those things are coming into play because I'm always, when I'm up here at the counter, it's also kind of it's a learning experience for the seller because I would say the biggest thing people don't quite understand is that retail value and resale value, completely different things. So you can have like Gucci, right? Or like Ferragamo. They have similar price points. If anything, Ferragamo costs more, but in the resale market, Gucci has like higher value. So we would price Gucci items higher than a Ferragamo item, even if the Ferragamo item had the original higher retail price. And I would say it's just also about, you really have to stay current on trends,
what will sell,
or what, also keeping it, an idea of how much inventory we have, what do we already have in here, or like trying to imagine what customer is going to buy this item,
And the condition too, right?
Especially the condition, because I feel people think it's resale, yes, but you'd be surprised, people still want like, basically like, like gently worn, So I think it's just like any other thing. It's like the minute you drive your car off the lot, it's not new anymore. So it's the same thing with clothing. So it's gonna, some pieces depreciate while other things are kind of an investment.
This is wonderful. I'm looking forward to you taking us through the rest of the store, because I understand you have men's stuff too.
We do, and I have some pieces for you too.
Love it. There's something that we rarely see in resale is men's department.
Yes,
It's usually just women, but I'm excited. You picked out some pieces for me?
I do, I did, and now our men's section is very small but mighty, I like to say.
All right.
It's very curated. We have great shoe offerings, Gucci, Valentino, and then I picked out a few nice fall pieces for you that, you can transition with other pieces in your wardrobe already.
I'm gonna try it. You mind if I try?
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay, all right, let's do that. I'm excited. So tell me, while we're doing this, about your feelings about sustainability.
So I would say it was already a passion of mine, and which is why I love working in the resale business, because it's combining love of fashion with sustainability.
Wow.
It's actually it's a good fit.
Yeah.
I love the corduroy.
Yeah. I like this. This is a great color.
Yeah, and I just think that fashion shouldn't, like, I hate the whole the wear it once movement, like, why are we doing that? I love my clothes, and especially if you're investing in your pieces, you should be able to wear it a lot. That's why even with us here, we try to stay away from fast fashion, because our whole thing is that—
Explain fast fashion.
Okay, so fast fashion is really, it's the same thing as like fast food, right? You could go.
So do you think what were you saying that
oh yeah, like the next
so
step would be Salvation Army,
which is fine,
right?
Yeah.
Salvation Army, because you're not going to find things any cheaper for these prices at this quality. Definitely not.
For these designer pieces.
Yeah, so you could take $70 and go into another store, maybe get a jacket that might not last you over a year, or you could take that same $70 and go into a resale store and really invest in a piece, and now you're gonna have this for like the rest of your life.
It's basically a one of a kind.
Exactly.
And if it's lasted this long,
right,
you can imagine with care how much longer it's gonna last.
Exactly.
And all of the color and all of these things.
Yeah.
That you can just, I love this piece too. I love everything that you picked.
And that's just the whole idea of like reusing, repurposing,
and
like—
this is $40.
40, yeah.
And it's wool and suede.
Suede.
And it's my size.
Made for you.
Made for me.
Yeah.
It's coming with me.
Good.
So when people are coming here and they're thinking about it and, about clothing and doing things, redoing the closet, so it's fall now, so you're looking at your closet, you're bringing stuff out. What do you suggest that people think about buying? You think because maybe you have some summer pieces here, you can do it. You can do some
You can. Well, I mean, I feel like, right now it's fall, so honestly, it's just about layering. You can still wear your summer pieces, but maybe like layer a turtleneck underneath, or maybe just put on you can still wear your summer dress, put on a nice suede jacket or leather jacket, and there, you're dressed for the fall. So.
What do you feel about rules? So when we talk about rules like no white,
no,
Day,
I don't want to hear it.
okay.
I don't want to hear it. Okay, like.
What do you feel about it? I know how I feel about it. I just think that you should wear one what you're comfortable in.
Yes, that should be the only
and also
rule.
two what you feel that's appropriate for you.
Yeah, I feel when I think clothing is just expressing yourself, right? And I feel there's this thing where people try to make it seem like fashion is trivial, but it's not, because you're making your first impression and you're expressing yourself. Like, we all know there's nothing like, I can still, if I meet someone for the first time, I can remember what they had on, you know? And this isn't from a vain point of view, it's just that you're expressing yourself, and that's what I'm gonna remember. It's like leaving your calling card. So I don't believe in rules.
Yeah.
The only rule should be truly being comfortable and how does it make you feel. If you feel good, then it's fine. Like, even someone like me, like, you know, I'm a bigger girl, and there's a lot of these rules that, like, oh, she shouldn't wear that, or don't show this or don't show that. But I'm just like, if I feel good and I think I look good, I don't really care about what rules should pertain to, like, my size or anything. Well, it's also a myth too that the average size for a woman is not 0.6. It is a 14.
It's 14 and up.
Okay.
It's the average size.
That is the average size. So what are we saying, that anyone smaller or only people smaller than 14 should be able to enjoy fashion? No. No.
So we're looking at men's stuff, but I also, something caught my eye. It's like, we talk about the little black dress,
no.
but this is hot.
Exactly, so like, hot. The cinching, you know, you can.
It's very retro.
It's very retro, but still modern. You know, which I love.
Yeah.
And it's a more contemporary piece, but it kind of reminds me of like a very old glam silhouette.
Yeah,
like
so you can do
silhouette.
this with like some pumps for evening,
yeah.
And you can actually do it with tights.
You can do it with tights. You could also honestly do a boot, make it a little edgier. Okay. And then depending on what you layer it with, yeah.
I'm shopping.
For sure.
This is great. Look
great.
at this.
And then the leather. I love leather. I feel like you're definitely going to be seeing leather a lot.
And you're talking about $70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the couples, yeah. I mean,
this is amazing. This is amazing. So
there's so many great finds, and honestly, these are like, mind you, this is at the higher end of our price points. Okay. So like an average piece here would probably be about $20, $30. Okay. So like anyone can come in here and find something.
Let's hope. This is amazing. Thank you for showing me the mission.
Of course.
These things are coming with me.
Yes, they have to.
Okay. So it looks like we're going to have a fashion show. And first we have Madison. Wow, this is great. I love this.
Thank you. All from Reddz Trading.
Okay, so tell me about, what is this, a Gucci jacket?
Gucci jacket. Check the inside.
Nice.
Look at that.
Okay.
Gucci bag.
Okay.
And Gucci shoes.
Wow, turn around for me. So this can be at work, and you can button it up and do a scarf. And then you can go out for cocktails afterwards.
Exactly, right?
I love it. This is great.
Thank you.
It's all affordable, which is great.
Exactly.
And sustainable.
Exactly.
I love it. Ah.
Perfect.
Who do we have next? Wow, this is great. So tell me about your outfit. This is really cool.
All of this is from here, and I know it's a fur, but it is very sustainable. Secondhand fur is the way to go.
Okay.
The fur's from here. The pants are from here. They're what's this brand? They're oak and port.
Okay.
The boots are WHUTs, and then the top is Aritzia.
All right, so do a twirl.
Oh, and sunglasses, Celine.
Ah, perfect. This is great. So come back, Madison, so we can see you all together. This is perfect. Well, bravo.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. We came to a really, really wonderful part of this tour of Reddz. Thank you. You're the owner, Wendy Reddz, and I am so fascinated, one, with the store and your background, and that, you know, in the fashion game, that You were the owner of Up Against the Wall?
Up Against the Wall and Commander Salamander.
Wow, tell me about that.
Well, let's see, my husband started that years ago. Oh my God, in late 60s, like the very last part you could be in the 60s.
Okay.
And he and his partner started a store, and it was very successful. It was on M Street. The rent was $175 a month.
$170?
$175 a month.
Wow.
Okay. And it was right on M Street, right near the corner of Wisconsin and M. And I was a teacher at the time. And one day I came home from work and I said, you know what? I quit my job today. I'm not going to be a teacher next year. I'm going to be the buyer, the women's buyer for Up Against the Wall. My husband said, what, are you crazy? I said, no, I'm going to do it. We're going to have women's clothes. And back then there was a lot of unisex clothes and not so much women's, but more men's, you know. And that was sort of the start of the journey.
Wow. So what was it about you that attracted you and knew that you had what it took for fashion and to be the buyer and to know that that's something that you could do? Coming, being a teacher.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, so my mother was from New York, and I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware. My mother absolutely refused to buy one item of clothing in Wilmington, Delaware. We had to go to New York. So we would drive to New York, it was only 2 hours away, and we'd go to Bonwood Teller or Saks or Bloomingdale's. And I sort of knew that I had that, my mother had that knack. She was such a fabulous dresser. And I got it from her. Yeah.
After Up Against the Wall, how did you think about, resale Reddz?
I didn't know what to do with myself after Up Against the Wall. I needed to do something. I like to work. I like to do things. So I called a friend of mine that had a store in Pittsburgh, and I said, I'm really interested in sustainability, because at the time that was like an important thing. The environment and all this stuff was very important, and it was important to me. And so I said, I want to learn about your store. And he said, well, I want to open a store in DC. So he came down and we found a location and we opened a store. And I decided that his store was a little bit lower end than what I wanted to be. I wanted to be everything to everybody. So I didn't want to just have one kind of clothes. I wanted to have clothes that were inexpensive, medium priced, and high priced. So I wanted to appeal to a wider audience. So I said, a friend of mine came into the store one day and she bought all this really nice Chanel stuff in, and it sold right away. And I said, all right, this is it. We're going to be a little bit higher end and we're going to make it work.
How did you determine that you were doing resale as opposed to consignment?
Okay, so consignment means that you bring your clothes in, you sign a contract, and then when it sells in the store, you get paid. My friend that had his store in Pittsburgh, he paid outright. And he said it's just so much easier, a lot less paperwork. What if something gets stolen and then you have to pay the person for if they bring in an expensive bag in. I said, you know what, I'm going to try this, even though it's a much higher end than what he was doing. I'd have to pay out a lot more money. But it turns out that it is so much easier, and I feel like people like it because they get paid right away.
You get paid right away,
right?
And then
if it doesn't sell, that's my problem. And so I.
But you've developed your eye, and your staff has developed their eye. They pretty much know which is going to sell.
Right. Yeah.
So it's innate in your. I asked you this earlier about our viewers are going to be looking, and I always want to have people, hopefully, that they have that aha moment. So people that are thinking about going into retail, thinking about opening a store, what are the things that attracted you aside from your passion that says, I'm going to do this, whether if it's good, if it makes it, if it doesn't? What advice would you give someone, women, men, but to say that I want to start this store, I want to do something?
Well, I mean, this business to start wasn't like really, really hard, because it was more like getting the clothes. That's how we had to start. We had to have people coming in and filling up the store with clothes. I think it's not Business is not easy. Especially in this environment, rents are really high, so you have to, be able to negotiate and talk to your landlord, and you have to keep your expenses low so that you can make money. That's the only way you can make money. But it's really nice. I know a lot of young women who have started a business like this. A few people I know that have started just high-end purses, and then they just decided to do it that way. Yeah. So it's not super hard. You have to be diligent. You have to work really hard. It's not like, oh, you can just come in and do it. It's like 24/7. You're working, and when you're sleeping, you're worried about it.
Okay. And you're picking good people that see the vision and buy into what.
Right. You have to pick people that sort of understand fashion and have an eye for fashion. You have to have a good eye. You have to be able to change a mannequin. You have to be able to put something on a mannequin, and the next customer walks in.
I want that outfit.
I want that outfit. Can you please take it off? And that happens all the time here. As soon as we change the mannequin, we have to take the clothes off.
Oh my gosh.
But that's okay. We're happy to do it.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, and I love your spirit. I love the happiness that radiates. Is it from your work that you do that?
I'm just a happy person.
I love it. I love it. So thank you again. Thank you for taking the time.
Sure,
and I'm
thank
taking
you.
some of these things with me.
Okay, good.
All right. We've had an amazing time here at Reddz talking about fashion and sustainability. Hopefully you will tune in to the next episode of Neighborhood Favorites. I'm your host, George Worrell. We'll see you next time.